Alright guys, today I'm going to be giving you the full review of the new Ion Alpha Plus. Alright, so this auger has been out now for pretty much the whole ice season. I'm not sure the exact release date, but yeah, this is the first year it's been ran. And I've run one throughout the year, and then I just recently got one for myself. I was running other people's before this, but yeah, so my initial review on it is that when it comes to re-drilling holes in the house, that is kind of my number one priority thing. The last auger that I was running, you just could not re-drill holes. So when I was fishing the ice castle occasionally, I couldn't re-drill, and you'd get hung up and your auger would keep catching, hitting the walls, all that stuff. And so it was just not a fun time trying to re-drill. Whereas this one, it has that cast ring at the bottom there to kind of guide it down, and it's got shaver blades, so it just cuts the ice really nice. And yeah, so that's kind of my review for fishing in the house. Now I'll do a quick speed test on cutting a hole. We're on about 25-ish inches of ice. Keep in mind this battery, I have drilled 10 holes on it already, so it has 250-ish inches of ice on this battery already on this charge today. So it's not going to be as fast as it is fully charged, but kind of give you an idea of what to expect. Alright, so like I said, 25-ish inches of ice, and let's cut a hole. So, as you guys can see there, that is super fast. Now, another thing here, I'm going to show you guys. This one more goes out to the wheelhouse guys, or just if you're fishing in a shack in general, and you don't want to be throwing ice all over, because this thing, the way it cuts ice so fast, it throws ice all over the place. And it actually has on the trigger here variable speed, so if you just barely press it down there, you can see it kind of crawls. So this is full speed, and then this will be variable. So when I got this auger, when I bought it, I did not anticipate myself using that feature at all until the first time I took it into the ice castle about a week ago, and I started drilling and ice is shooting everywhere. So just barely press down on the trigger, it started cutting slow, no ice on the floor, nothing like that. Just keeps it all banked up in the hole. You throw it in reverse. With as fast as this auger moves, when you have it in reverse, it takes pretty much nothing to put all that slush under the ice. So kind of the number one thing that I really like about this auger is how light it is. Like, I'm lifting it up one-handed. You don't struggle at all. So especially like when we crappie fish and we're going out and we're hole hopping, and you got your graph and your rod in one hand, the auger in the other, you can walk a lot, drill a lot of holes, and not get exhausted from it. Just from my experience, can't speak for everyone, but you know, for me, I'll walk around, drill 40 holes, and it doesn't even wear your arms out. I kind of had this discussion with another guy that's running this auger a few days ago, and we were just kind of coming up with pros and cons of it. And so obviously some of the pros of it, I mean, the weight, the cutting speed, the reverse, having now a composite flight on it instead of steel, which, by the way, you pretty much cannot break that flight. When I was at one of the shows, one of the guys working the Ion booth at the show was kind of showing me around the auger, and I said, because I'd heard about K-drills breaking in the past with those composite flights, won't it eventually break because it's plastic, composite, whatever it is? He showed me, he pretty much took all of his force bending on these, and as you can see, like, that's me pushing full force. I can bend it, but I can't break it, so you would have to do a lot to break this auger. And yeah, it's a big plus side to have that composite instead of steel for the weight factor and the cutting speed. I believe these batteries now on the new ones are getting roughly 25 or 2600 inches of ice. So there's just a lot of plus sides. honestly could not come up with any cons of this auger so far. I haven't ran it enough yet. One season under my belt with it, I'm not going to figure out everything about the auger. I guess one con you could say would be you're limited to how many holes you can cut by how many batteries you have. But at the end of the day, you're cutting a lot of ice with that battery. You can get more batteries. And the biggest key, another thing, is to keep it warm. If you have the battery start to freeze, yes, you're gonna have issues. Both of those cons, it's not an ion exclusive thing. That's your Strike Master, or when you're running a pistol bit, light flight, whatever, drill auger, anything electric, you're gonna be limited to those two things. The cold is gonna kill your batteries, so that's the number one thing. I keep mine on the auger when I'm like jumping around hole to hole, but if I'm going across the lake, I'm pulling it off. The nice thing about these new locking mechanisms, I didn't show that. So the old Ions had a strap. This one has this little lock here, and it slides right off. Just holds a lot better than those old straps did, because when those would get cold, they'd lose elasticity. So yeah, it's a great auger all around. So yeah, if you guys have any other questions about this auger, leave them down below, and I will make sure to get back to you. I don't work for Ion augers. You might think that because I've got a sweatshirt on. No, I don't work for them. I paid for this auger. This is just my completely honest review. I ran Strike Master for 3 or 4 years. I don't know how long it was. It was quite a long time though. And great auger when you were out hole hopping, but for the wheelhouse guys, I would not recommend it. But yeah, like I said, I don't work for Ion. I don't have to be telling you any of this. I could tell you this thing sucks, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys and tell you it's a great auger. No issues with it. If I do end up with any issues on it, I will make an update on it, telling you whatever I figure out. But yeah, so far it's been a great auger, and let's finish out the season strong here. We're getting into that mid-February rut. Bite has really slowed down, but yeah, hopefully gonna get out burbot fishing a little bit yet this winter. I don't know about any more walleye trips.